Welcome to Bills Nation Daily, your ultimate daily dose of everything Buffalo Bills. Hit that subscribe button and join the most passionate Bills fans as we break down all the latest news, highlights, and game analysis. Go Bills! The news dropped like a thunderclap over Buffalo, and fans are still trying to catch their breath. DAWSON KNOX, the heart and soul tight end who's been a crucial part of the Bills' offense for years, is reportedly leaving the team. You heard that right. The man who's been catching bullets from Josh Allen, fighting through double coverage, and celebrating every touchdown like it was his last dance in Orchard Park, might be packing up. The whispers started as a simple rumor floating around the locker room, but it's growing louder by the hour. Something's brewing behind the scenes, and it's shaking the foundation of the Bills Mafia. People close to the situation say Knox has been frustrated with his role, maybe feeling overshadowed by the emergence of rookie tight in Dalton Kincaid. The chemistry that once felt unbreakable might be showing cracks. There's talk of disagreements over usage, play calling, and even locker room dynamics. Could this really be the end of an era? It's hard to imagine a Buffalo offense without Knox's energy, without those clutch third down grabs, and without that fiery personality that's become part of the Bills' identity. But sometimes, even the strongest bonds face breaking points. Now, let's be real. This isn't just about stats or contracts. DAWSON KNOX has been more than just a player. He's been a leader, a motivator, and one of the emotional anchors of this team. When Josh Allen struggled, Knox was there, not just catching passes, but keeping spirits high. Fans loved his grit, his humility, and his relentless drive to improve. So when the rumors of a possible departure started swirling, social media went into meltdown mode. Some fans are in disbelief, calling it fake news, while others think there's truth buried beneath the smoke. The timing couldn't be more shocking, coming right in the middle of a season where Buffalo is trying to rediscover its rhythm. Knox's absence could leave a massive void, not just in playmaking, but in leadership. Reports suggest he's been seen cleaning out parts of his locker, which, if true, adds serious fuel to the fire. The front office remains tight-lipped, refusing to comment publicly, and that silence is only making things louder. What's going on in Buffalo feels like a storm that's about to break wide open. And here's the thing. This isn't the first time we've seen tension simmer beneath Buffalo's seemingly unified surface. After that crushing playoff exit last season, there were already whispers of internal frustration, players feeling underutilized, coaches second-guessed, and egos quietly clashing. Knox, known for being a team-first guy, might have just reached a breaking point. Sources say the communication between him and offensive coordinator Joe Brady hasn't been smooth lately, with Knox reportedly frustrated about his shrinking role in the red zone. Remember, this is a guy who once racked up 8 touchdowns in a single season. To go from being a goated target to watching plays from the sidelines can mess with anyone's head. The dynamic shift with Kincaid stepping into the spotlight may have accelerated things, and maybe, just maybe, Knox feels it's time for a new chapter. But what would that mean for the Bills? Could this shake up their offensive identity? It's like removing a pillar from a house and hoping the roof doesn't cave in. The locker room mood, according to insiders, has been tense and uneasy. Some players are reportedly siding with Knox, understanding his frustrations, while others are just trying to stay focused on the next game. That division, even if subtle, can be dangerous for a team chasing a Super Bowl dream. Josh Allen, who's always been vocal about his friendship with Knox, hasn't said a word publicly yet, which in itself is telling. When your quarterback goes silent on something this big, you know it's serious. Buffalo fans are already debating whether this could be another Stephon Diggs situation. Drama, emotion, and uncertainty wrapped up in team loyalty. The idea of Knox suiting up for another team feels surreal. But the NFL is a business, and loyalty only goes as far as the next contract negotiation. Behind closed doors, it's said that Knox's camp has been exploring trade scenarios quietly, testing the waters with a few interested teams. If that's true, Buffalo could be on the verge of one of the most surprising moves in recent memory. What makes this whole thing even juicier is how sudden it feels. Just weeks ago, Knox was smiling in press conferences, cracking jokes, and hyping up his teammates. Now, Insiders are talking about emotional meetings, heated conversations, and even speculation that he's already met with other franchises to discuss potential fits. Some believe this is KNOX taking control of his own narrative, refusing to fade into the background as the Bills evolve offensively. Others think it's the front office making a tough business decision, clearing cap space and betting on youth. Whatever the case, it's creating a media storm like no other. ESPN, Bleacher Report, and every NFL podcast on the planet are dissecting every angle, every quote, every hint. Buffalo's fan base, known for its loyalty and passion, is split. Half are heartbroken. The other half are bracing for change. And somewhere in the middle of it all, KNOX is watching it unfold, perhaps already thinking about his next touchdown celebration, just in a different jersey. Still, you can't help but wonder how he got here. From his breakout performances to his emotional interviews after big wins, KNOX seemed destined to be a Buffalo lifer. He embodied everything the team stood for: toughness, resilience, community. This isn't just a football story. It's about identity, about what happens when the emotional core of a team suddenly feels displaced. The Bills have been chasing greatness for years, coming so close, but always missing that final piece. Losing KNOX could be more than a roster move. It might be a symbolic crack in the armor. Fans are begging for answers. The media is digging for leaks, and players are doing their best to keep things in-house. But you can feel it. Something fundamental has shifted. Whether it's about money, pride, or playing time, the ripple effect of Dawson Knox's departure is just beginning. And if there's one thing we've learned from the NFL, it's that where there's smoke, there's almost always fire. Now the question on everyone's mind is simple. Where does Dawson Knox go from here? Once a cornerstone of the Bills' offense, he now stands at a crossroads that could redefine his career. Rumors are swirling faster than ever, linking him to teams hungry for a veteran-tight end with both grit and playoff experience. Some insiders are whispering about the Dallas Cowboys showing interest. After all, they've been craving a red zone threat who can complement Dak Prescott's style. Others mention the Chargers, who could use a reliable target for Justin Herbert. And then there's the dark horse, the Cincinnati Bengals. Imagine Knox teaming up with Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase. It's the kind of storyline that could light up the league. But beyond all the speculation, there's a deeper question. Does Knox really want to leave Buffalo, or is he being pushed out by a system that's moving in a different direction? Every time he's interviewed, you can sense a mix of loyalty and frustration. He loves the city, but sometimes love isn't enough when ambition and opportunity call from elsewhere. What's fascinating about Knox's situation is how personal it feels for Bills fans. This isn't just another roster shuffle. It's emotional. Buffalo is a city that builds deep connections with its players, and Knox has been one of those guys fans could rally around. His energy on game day, his charity work off the field, his connection with the community, it all made him more than just a player. Losing him would sting, not just because of the touchdowns he scores, but because of the heart he brings. Some say it's a business, and sure, technically it is. But for a team like Buffalo, where the players are practically family, this feels like a breakup no one was ready for. There's even been talk of fans organizing messages of support online, flooding his social media with pleas to stay. The Bills Mafia doesn't give up easily, and if there's any chance to mend fences, they'll fight for it. But if the decision's already made, it's going to be a long, emotional goodbye. Inside the Bills facility, the atmosphere reportedly feels heavy. Players are trying to act normal, focusing on game prep, but you can feel the tension hanging in the air. Coaches are dodging questions. General managers are giving those tight, calculated answers, and everyone's just waiting for the official word. When a big name like Dawson Knox potentially walks out, it changes everything. The locker room energy, the offensive schemes, even the trust dynamics between players and management. It's like a domino effect. You remove one piece, and the rest start to wobble. Josh Allen's silence continues to echo across the sports world. The two have shared countless touchdowns, inside jokes, and highlight reels. And yet now, there's this uncomfortable pause. It's possible Allen knows more than he's letting on, but out of respect, he's holding back. Or maybe, deep down, he's just heartbroken. That's the thing about the NFL. You could be brothers on the field, but business decisions don't always honor that bond. And speaking of business, this potential exit could say a lot about where the Bills are heading as a franchise. Are they entering a rebuild phase, quietly disguised as a retool? Or are they simply trimming the roster for financial flexibility? With the salary cap always looming, front offices have to make hard calls. Knox's contract isn't small, and if the team believes Kincaid can shoulder the offensive load, the logic, at least on paper, makes sense. But fans don't think with spreadsheets. They think with emotion. You can't quantify what Knox means in the locker room, or how his presence lifts the team during tough stretches. Replacing that won't be easy. Analysts are already debating whether the Bills will regret this if their red zone efficiency dips. Knox's chemistry with Allen was a safety net, and once that's gone, it's gone. The team might be saving money, but they could be paying a different kind of price, one measured in morale and momentum. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Of course, Knox isn't walking away quietly. Those close to him say he's been training harder than ever, focused, locked in, and ready for whatever comes next. He's reportedly determined to prove that he's still a top-tier tight end, whether in Buffalo or somewhere else. You can sense that hunger, that competitive fire that made him one of the best. Maybe this whole situation fuels his next chapter. Maybe this is his revenge tour loading in real time. The NFL loves a comeback story, and Knox might be writing his own as we speak. There's something poetic about a player finding new purpose after heartbreak. If he lands on a team that knows how to use him right, he could explode statistically. Think of it, new playbook, new energy, new beginning. And maybe, one day, when he lines up against Buffalo, we'll see that bittersweet moment. Knox staring across the field at his old teammates, with a look that says, "You should have believed in me." Whatever happens next, one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. It's just the beginning of a new chapter in the ongoing soap opera that is the NFL. Whether Dawson Knox stays or goes, his name will be part of Buffalo's legacy forever. The fans won't forget the grit, the emotion, the celebrations in the snow. But this could also be a turning point, not just for Knox, but for the Bills themselves. How they handle this moment could define their future. Teams that aspire to greatness must balance loyalty with logic, emotion with economics. But sometimes, when you lose the soul of your locker room, the numbers stop matching. The NFL is brutal like that. For now, the world waits. Fans refreshing Twitter every minute, insiders whispering in back channels, and Knox, somewhere in the middle of it all, deciding which direction his journey will go. The NFL might move fast, but moments like this linger. They echo. And in Buffalo, that echo will be felt for a long, long time. Financial sources hint that the Bills' front office meticulously structured Samuel Jr.'s contract to balance immediate competitiveness with long-term sustainability, an approach that has sparked conversation about their broader strategy in managing elite talent. Analysts suggest that this structure allows Buffalo to remain aggressive in future roster moves while safeguarding cap flexibility, a point that has not gone unnoticed in league circles. Rumors indicate that this approach could set a precedent for future signings as other teams examine Buffalo's model for balancing financial prudence with the acquisition of high-impact players. Fans are particularly intrigued by how this strategic balance may influence additional roster moves, speculating about complementary signings or draft picks that could maximize Samuel Jr.'s effect on the field. Social media debates often focus on hypothetical scenarios involving defensive alignments, cornerback pairings, and strategic rotations that might arise from his presence, generating a continuous cycle of analysis and projection. League insiders note that beyond immediate gameplay, Samuel Jr.'s acquisition may have intangible effects on team culture, leadership dynamics, and even recruitment, as other players perceive Buffalo as a destination where talent and vision align. The ongoing narrative emphasizes both the strategic brilliance and psychological impact of this signing, highlighting Buffalo's proactive approach to shaping not only their defense, but also the broader conversation surrounding elite NFL talent management. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.